Hey y'all, how's it going? Welcome back. It's Mia, and today I wanted to take a look at some of the first reactions to Avatar: Way of the Water because the critics just got a chance to look at the movie last night and share some of their thoughts. Not the full reviews or anything like that, although I'm sure the embargo will be down for that soon, but I just wanted to get a feel for this movie because this whole time I've really been trying to ignore Avatar. I've been trying to be like, I don't care. It's not, I don't want anything to do with it, but the fact that it is being pushed by Disney now that it's 20th Century Fox is part of the Disney family, and I mean it's James Cameron, and I mean it's Avatar, but I guess my whole problem is that it just seems so weird. It's like Avatar to me just happened to become a phenomenon because I don't know, we'd never seen CGI like this before. What the heck is up with those blue people? 3D glasses were pretty cool, but that was back in 2009 when a lot of that stuff were kind of like novelties, and now to me that's phased out. And I know people say, oh, Avatar, most film to gross the most amount of money but still has no impact on the culture. And I was like, yeah, I do feel that way a lot. I feel like Avatar, I don't have a favorite Avatar character, I don't have a favorite Avatar scene, I don't have a favorite Avatar line, and so it just feels sort of a little, I don't know, maybe cringeworthy to be like, oh, we have to go back to this. Like, and I don't want to be that person who's like, oh, I want this movie to flop. I want it to do bad so we never have to deal with Avatar ever again. This is just a really fascinating case study because it feels like out of all the stuff that no one has asked for and the whole of 22, which is a lot, Avatar: The Way of the Water feels like the biggest perpetrator of that because, listen, last movie came out in 2009. What's going on here? So a lot of people are like, either this is going to be the biggest movie ever and James Cameron is going to earn his rank as the best filmmakers and is going to make like $1 billion trillion, or it's going to flop and Disney is going to have to probably hack off those other, like 4, 5, and 6 movies that they wanted to do. I still see them doing 3, but I think the fate of the tail end of this double trilogy is it's in our hands right now. So I just want to see what some of the people are saying about this movie, and maybe that will determine how this movie will perform when it's all said and done. Okay, why don't we hit up Twitter first? Okay, it was just trending like 5 minutes ago. So much for cultural impact. Okay, here we go. Avatar. Let the good times roll in. All right, first one. As someone who liked but didn't love the first Avatar, let me tell you, Avatar: Way of Water blew me away. Vastly superior in visual storytelling and performances. The sequel left my jaw on the ground for the entire runtime. James Cameron is the god of sequels. Is he? James Cameron now has not 2 but 3 of the best sequels ever made. 3 of the best sequels ever made. Oh, jeez. Why am I not? Listen, James Cameron only made Avatar and Titanic, right? Oh, did he make the Alien sequel? Okay, Aliens and the T2. Okay, I knew that. Okay, so they're saying this is his 3rd best sequel, or not, maybe not ranked 3rd, but among the sequels that he made, this is one of them. The effects and action is, yes, breathtaking, but it is the story this time that's the beating heart. It's more personal, complicated, emotional. Wow, it really soars. You guys they're not being paid off by James Cameron, are they? They don't want to, like, James Cameron comes to their door at night and he's got a baseball bat in his hand. I'm sorry, James Cameron. Are these like genuine reviews? I guess they are, right? Avatar: Way of the Water might be James Cameron's sweetest, gentlest, most personal film, possibly even his most emotional. Really, it revisits all his greatest hits, but it's always totally sincere. He is never leaving Pandora. He loves his family by the end. I did too. Oh my god, we're gonna get 6 movies. This is what we're saying. Yeah, I never bet against James Cameron. Trying to spare hyperbole, but I've never seen anything like this from a technical, visual standpoint. It's overwhelming, maybe too overwhelming. Sometimes I'd miss plot points because I'm staring at Pandora fish. See, what I want to know is the story. How is the story visually? I mean, okay, I feel like because this is Avatar, yes, visually it's going to have to stand for a lot here. So I do get that. And I will say it will be refreshing to see a movie where I guess a lot of time and care was put into the visuals and the CGI, because I feel like that's just been pretty lost these days. Someone texted me, what's the most visually impressive part of the movie? And I responded, the whole thing, honestly. Also, I watched the first Avatar over the weekend, basically settled on that was fine. The sequel has much better and deeper character development. But like the first one, I can't imagine watching it at home without this presentation. And I'm not Mr. Theater. I like movies at home, but I can't see this one working that way. Last thing, this is the first movie I've ever seen use high frame rate trick that I've actually liked. Yeah, leave it to James Cameron to crack that one. Yeah, because that's why I did see the whole thing about the high frame rate. I saw some person who said they didn't really like it, but I know the first time and probably the last time I ever saw high frame rate in a film was the Hobbit movie, and when everybody watched it, it just looks so weird. Like, high frame rate, I think, I'm not using high frame rate, but online seems normal. But when it was in the movie and you saw Bilbo's little hobbit feet, it looks like he was just on like fast forward. That was a little strange, so I wonder if it's gonna feel that way in the Avatar movie, even though they say it seems pretty cool. BT Dubs, The Weeknd has a song coming out for... This is the one thing that I have faith in, actually, is The Weeknd. Abel, if anyone can do it, Abel is able. So I want to hear his Avatar song. James Cameron doesn't count. I'm ignoring that. Hello, imagine being dumb enough to bet against James Cameron. Really, folks? Or teen alien Sigourney Weaver, or giant whales subtitled in papyrus. Lightyear's better than the first and easily one of the best theatrical experiences in ages. Streaming found dead in a ditch. Zoinks. So this is gonna be the Mr. Cinema movie. This one is gonna bring people out of their homes and into the theaters. Which, I mean, that's exactly what the first Avatar movie did the first time it came out. Everyone was, not that we had streaming services and everything, but it was like, you gotta go, you know, you can't just see this on DVD or Blu-ray. You're like, you gotta see this in 3D. You gotta see this. And I don't know who was saying that, but somehow it just collectively was in the water at the time. I was not exactly chomping at the bit for an Avatar 2, even if James Cameron plus what tends to work out properly well. Now I can't wait to see Avatar 3. Wow. That's basically all I wanted out of this, and it delivered a big way. Holy cow. Avatar Way of the Water is one of the most visually stunning films I've ever seen. Incredible on almost obscene level. Crucially, it also manages engaging, but 3+ hours? James Cameron's only Gone and Bloody delivered. 3. My sister in Christ, I could barely make it through Black Panther 2 and that was 2 hours and 40 something minutes. I did not know this movie was 3 hours and 12 minutes. Who gave James Cameron the right? How long was the first movie? I remember being long, but when you're a kid, any movie that's like over an hour and a half feels long. Avatar was only 2 hours and 42 minutes. And back then, in 2009 time, that felt like 4 hours. I can only imagine 3 hours and 12 minutes. Now, to be fair, I know the Batman was pretty long as well. And I've watched that 6 times this year. The Batman was only 2 hours and 56 minutes. So that actually clocked under 3 hours. So James Cameron, you got some explaining to do, man. 3 hours is a lot. Trying to find some other, like, are there any dissenting opinions? Some real thoughts on Way of the Water. It's incredible. James Cameron's limit breaks, even initiates feeling slam with seismic force. Jaw-dropping design makes me... Even the water's hypnotizing. We love some water graphics. I don't know, man. Have you guys seen 4K TVs? That I can do at home. Watching a 4K movie. The story itself is weaker than the first. Oh, that's an interesting take. Most people said the story was stronger, so there's one dissent. And it feels drawn out at 3 hours and 10 minutes, but it's always great to look at. And the last hour is amazing. The story ain't great, but if you make it to that last hour, by God, you will be rewarded. I don't know, Chief. Here we go, someone I can relate to. I will not be reviewing Avatar Way of the Water due to circumstances outside of my control. Arrived at address Disney provided for screening, only to be ambushed by James Cameron, who fired a crossbow at me from his car, leapt off a bridge in an attempt to escape, and broke both of my legs. That exact same thing happened to me. That's why I'm not going to go see it early. I love you, Disney. Okay, it was a masterpiece. It is phenomenal. More and more beautiful. Pandora, graphics, visuals, filmmaking, frames per second. If you love how Top Gun Maverick wore a tar on its sleeve, tell a story of utmost sincerity. After Our Way of the Water will speak to you. It has become deeply rooted in joy, James Cameron. Oh my god. Never-ending visual spectacle. Oh no. Here's the thing though, Batman. Is this gonna be like the critics / fan divide? Because we've been seeing that a lot lately, where it's just kind of like the opinions that the critics have, and usually I find myself more on the side of the critics, but do not always line up with the score or the reviews that the fans have. So you'll see this kind of divide on Rotten Tomatoes where, one is gonna be higher than the other. So I wonder if, the critics are bowing down to James Cameron, but when the fans see it, it's gonna be a whole different story. I don't know though. I feel like just because this movie is what it is, I think this might be one of the great uniters. I don't know, fans might not feel as incredible about this movie as the critics do, but I can see it being welcomed on both ends. So yeah, this is surprising. I feel like a lot of the critics who saw this film are kind of like me, where we are all just kind of like, I wasn't clamoring for a James Cameron movie, but I am surprised to see that a majority of them are like, by golly, this was a good film. And maybe I didn't dig enough into Twitter. I don't know how many people got to see this movie yesterday, but I think at least like once the Rotten Tomatoes starts aggregating reviews, when the reviews come out, you'll be able to see who thought it was fresh and who thought it was rotten. So I am very astounded, and I don't know. The one thing I will say though, I don't think in this economy, or rather this movie watching climate, that Avatar The Way of the Water will be able to cross 1 billion. I think, let me just double check my math here, because I know, I want to check Top Gun Maverick, because to me that's, I guess the question is, am I looking at worldwide or domestically? I'm looking more at domestically. Let's say a film like, Infinity War is too generous. Let's say something like Captain Marvel, right? If we go back to 2019, just before the box office went into shambles. Ooh, I take that back. Captain Marvel, okay. That's it, 700 million. Wow. That's pretty dang good. Okay. You know what? Now that so the 1 billion, just so we're all on the same page, comes from the domestic total and then the international total. So if you can get, number one, if you can get the domestic total to about 700 mil, you're in good shape. And it's very possible that the international amount will match that. But really, you only need like 300 mil more to cross the 1 billion mark. So I'm working this out in real time, y'all. Okay, so we've got Top Gun, which was able to make 700 million. And it matched that to make 1.4 billion. This is like a rarity in 2022. Our next best film pretty much was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, was just shy of crossing 1 billion. It outperformed domestically or internationally, made about 400 here at home. And then here, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, coming up a little pretty shy of what Doctor Strange did. It's still kind of rolling in, but it's been about a month now, so we're tapering off. And so they're going to end it there. Okay, I think after doing some data analysis, I do think that Avatar The Way of the Water is going to cross 1 billion. But specifically because I think it is gonna get, I think it's gonna be like Top Gun, where it will resonate with international audiences. I believe it does have a China release date, so that's gonna help a ton. And yeah, basically if we can get it to reflect this, it should be an easy sweep. Is it gonna surpass Top Gun then is the biggest question. And I don't quite know if it will top Top Gun. Does James Cameron have it in him? I don't know. I don't know. This is so tricky, but this is the conundrum that we're in 2022. We're gonna go big or we're gonna go home. Man, don't bet against James Cameron. Woo! #1 movie of the year. I'm gonna put it in the #2 spot just so if it actually does break #1, I will be so surprised and I'll be so shocked. I don't care about my pride. I just want to, like, if this movie actually comes out #1, it will say a lot and I'll be interested in reviewing what the heck actually happened about that. So thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna leave it here. I spent more time on this than I thought I would, but it's fascinating, right? To think like where are the minds of the viewers in 2022 and what will this box office say about this time? So let me know what you all think will pan out with Avatar: The Way of the Water. I am so interested to see what happens. Please also be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this discussion, subscribe for more, and I don't know if I'm going to review Avatar: The Way of the Water, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye.